between the two esports programs over the years. Overall, Central has been it's been a interesting matchup between the two, but we are excited to be here to see the outcome of today's matchup.
Mm-hmm. I think Northeastern will be a bit of an interesting player for us. But I don't remember what happened last time we played. Well, so I think going into like our first map though, I believe we banned Nepal, as we know. As I was told, Northeastern tends to favor Nepal for control maps as their first point, and we'll be going to Samoa.
Of course, Samoa is a interesting map. I like it. It does not really have a nighttime variant, which is something I very much prefer. But we are going to see an interesting match here. Of course, thank you for pointing out. I had next week's game on my mind when we had Western Michigan, which will be a great matchup. But we are indeed facing Northern Illinois today. As both teams are getting into the lobby, we had a good bit of action. We saw, unfortunately, earlier this week on Tuesday, we did lose to apologies. Unfortunately, earlier this week we did lose in a sort of resounding fashion. I forget the school, but it's really a loss to build on. There were some good outcomes to that. There was some great building opportunities. Is there anything you saw this on Tuesday that they probably have improved on since then? Because we know they did have practice recently.
I'm hoping they're trying to get their communication more in line when it comes to like their dives in terms of their tank play today, just kind of communicating with the entire team. Speaking of our tanks, we have someone else playing tank today besides Freed.
Indeed, we do have two players out, unfortunately. We have both Freed and Zack out, which Freed is usually our team captain. Our tank generally plays Hazard. We do have Vaneue, who is typically a support, who is stepping in to fill that role, as well as we have a sub. We have as well Zack stepping out, who is usually our Genji. He will be replaced by a similar DPS whose name is Chick. The replacement for Freed will be Turtles, the Moira, who we saw check in last week on Tuesday. Very good overall from him. What do you expect to see out of these new guys?
I'm not sure. I mean, we haven't really seen much like role swapping between like our team here, and I haven't seen it. I definitely haven't seen anybody like kind of role swap. I don't think you're actually allowed to mid batch, but I'm interested to see it. I'm very interested to see how it goes.
I'm very interested as well. We don't really know what Chick is going to do. We never really got like a designated champion that he usually plays.
Yeah.
He plays a little bit of everybody. We did see him sub in a couple weeks ago. He will be a true wild card in this matchup.
Yeah.
But we do have Turtles, who is very, very common, and Vaneue, we've never seen play tank before. At least I've never seen him play tank before. Who will be an interesting matchup. We might hear some Roadhog, so we might see a different style of tank compared to what we usually see out of Freed.
Yeah.
And I think that may shift things a bit for CMU.
I think maybe it might be less dive oriented today. It might be going more for a death ball idea if we go with Roadhog. Kind of just packing your whole team into like a good kind of like bundle, just kind of rolling through the enemy team. Especially if Roadhog can use his chain hook to pull an enemy player in, and just then all the CMU can just dive on them and get a kill pretty quickly.
Indeed, and now we are here getting into the game here in match 1 of round 1. Does say Kent State. We once again apologize. It is Northern Illinois. As we see CMU line up with SgtSkittlez, Chick, Vaneue, Raspberry Turtles. Once again, little bit of changes there from CMU. Kent State, apologies. Northern Illinois lines up with Frisco. Apologies. We'll line up with Frisco, Hedwig, Zarya, Pyro, and UC. We are going to see an interesting matchup between them as the Frisco's playing Hazard. Once again, another Hazard play. 3 weeks in a row now for Central Michigan facing off against the Hazard, as well as once again a Sojourn, Genji, Lucio, and Ana. Once again, very common, where CMU is going to be playing a Sojourn Mei, who is not a champion we've seen before, a very freeze, very sort of area-centric character. We see Vaneue go in with the Reinhardt, not really a seed player, a true tank with that big shield.
Yeah.
And then we have Hiriko and Moira, as we expected at the Turtles.
Interesting to see. I see that the skins are on tonight, and I'm glad, because I always like seeing the different skins for this game, especially the golden big weapons that appears to be everybody's using.
We see, and NEU take this middle point easily as we see Frisco jump off and try to go up to that Kiriko. See CMU gonna come around and get that point. They are incessantly targeting that Tracer as he's able to get away. Unfortunately, the May Frisco gets a double kill there on Chick and Raspberry, which is unfortunate for CMU.
Yeah. So it looks like SgtSkittlez is able to get away. Oh, maybe not. No. Okay, he does.
Here's the advantage of playing Soldier right there with that big dash mobility.
Vaneue comes back with Mauga. Okay.
Vaneue with the Mauga, very interesting pick. We talked about it before the game. We thought it might come out, but since it's such a fitting map for Samoa and Mauga.
Yeah.
Diana here going to pocket the Mauga, as in he's going to sit directly on top of it, constant heals, things like that. See the May just had to poke in, try to get some sort of momentum here going.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting idea to go for Mauga here, as Hazard does have a big kind of block ability where you can just reduce all damage being taken, unless it's Mauga shooting at him with his fire and normal.
And there we go.
Miniguns there. Oh, and there's a wall, but he doesn't go down for it. But Chick does to hop.
Unfortunately, kicked off outside of the map a little bit. As you mentioned, that wall is going to be so brutal. Samoa does have a lot of lanes like this where they're very tight, it's a very tight space.
Yeah.
You see Vaneue start to cut around away from his supports as we see Naira and Paris see a triple there from NEU as we get both the supports and now Vaneue. That's going to be a quadra for NEU as they have 3 ults charged. That will be a resounding thing to try to push through as CMU has 0 ults charged right now.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's tough. I think they just can't really get in, and when Vaneue does want to kind of go in a bit, it seems to be like a bit of a wall off from Frisco there. Frisco has ult here, so it's another danger.
You're going to see a flank here as we see 2 DPSs come through, a DPS and support with the Lucio. You're going to see a big ult here out of EU. As I mentioned, they have that ult advantage. They get 2 of them, I believe. Hedwig takes down his fellow soldier in here with a headshot with that right click and huge amounts of damage. Mauga charges in. He's probably going to get a pick here. Unable to quite get it. Does get still a little bit after.
A bit late, yeah.
A bit too late, unfortunately, and they will take round 1 of match 1.
I think it's unfortunate we swapped off the Kiriko when we played Mauga. I knew his QG Hop is playing Ana, and Anti-Nade is really Mauga's main weakness, but it looks like we're going into a Winston now. Maybe instead. Oh, and we're back to the Kiriko, actually.
Much more mobile setup than usual. Truly, as Chick commits to the Genji, we're going to see a very much mobile setup.
Uno as well.
Okay. To be a little bit closer together, as you mentioned with the death ball from earlier.
Yeah. Maybe
trying to commit a little bit more to that role. As we see CMU stick with. Oh, we're seeing switching to a Roadhog. Very mentioned main for Vaneue on tank.
Okay.
We may see a very setup out of him. As generally, it is important that you pick the characters you are the most comfortable with, and if it's Roadhog, that's exactly what he wants to do.
Here's somebody in that right hallway. This is the hook. Everybody, he's got this. Hook's back online though. He gets a good hook onto this here. Maybe you can just place him in a position marked for death.
He looks a little bit outdueled there by the soldier, and as we see the full team maybe going in for a flank here. You see NEU sort of being able to block that off and out in, but Genji's sort of staying with the team. Not something you usually see. He's usually a big flanker.
Yeah.
Able to quite do that. Maybe a little bit of a confidence change.
Wait, Frisco goes to the Hog Ditto.
We are going to see a full Ditto as you see Hedwig with a very nice kick there. We're going to see.
And
we're going to see a triple there out of CMU. As we see 3 for 1 here. One was able to dash out. Going to probably get another kill. A lot of damage here out of both teams. The Roadhog healed up. He does have his own way of healing, and he's being pocketed by the
CMU has captured the point.
Are they? Really big hold it. Unfortunately, that flank out of Genji is brutal.
Low on healing here, though. I have to do a quick regroup for CMU here at the spawn doors here. A bit of a wait for drills to
the orb there being so effective by the Moira, trying to get the overall regroup to be successful. As you see the Hog in a burst in after both the DPSers. I'm not sure if he'll be able to catch them, but he does get close there as we see Roadhog as well as Denby coming out of the backfield, trying to get a flank going out of them as they both take the high ground here. So Lucio off to the right, we may see a duel between them. You see both sides, they have one member on each side.
Looks to be kind of just a bit of a sale pit here. You're kind of just waiting around. Although Turtles does go down to Zarya Gaming. And then a hook! Wow, that was... Hook there.
Need a big hook, we're going to see much trade. 3-for-1 in NEU's favor as just the tank is down.
Yeah, Vaneue not able to sustain.
You see you see 3 ults out of NEU as well as 4 ults.
This Frisco swaps to ball.
Frisco's got some ball. And the interesting pick on this map, there's not really a lot of great opportunities to hook. I don't believe so on this map.
I think this map has decent lanes for ball. I think it's definitely an interesting idea.
See the Dragon Blade here out of him. You're going to see a counter.
Raspberry.
Double ult there.
Oh my goodness.
Dragon Blade once again getting a big hit. Receiving ult coming out again out of Moira, just trying to get some damage control here. He isn't not quite able to get the hog up, but he is probably getting a pick here. Both hit on the hog, and the hog unfortunately does not quite have the sustain needed. That will conclude round 2 and the first game of this series. Unfortunate start there from CMU, but obviously we knew there was going to be some growing pains with them having 2 people out. Is there anything you saw as sort of like, you're the expert in this sort of department, you played for a bunch of years, is there anything you saw that may be a little bit less than obvious for CMU?
I think maybe just a kind of refusal to engage there, because there was that point where they were kind of just sitting near that more like magma reactor and like kind of the back of the map, where they were kind of just walking around. And even on the first map, they were kind of like off to the side in that kind of like one big kind of like house, where they weren't like really going in or specifically going out. They were kind of just hovering in an area waiting for, but I think it was Zarya Gaming on the Genji to kind of just pick somebody off, and then they seemed like they wanted to engage, and it felt a little odd, maybe just like not non-committal, very.
Indeed, Genjis have been killing them. We saw it earlier this week that Genji absolutely killed CMU, unfortunately, with that flank. I think the issue might be with Freed. Freed has been great when it comes to leading that charge, and I think it may have just been a small issue because Freed's coordinating that charge, and he's currently out right now. We may be seeing like a little bit of a change up here, but I think they can get things worked out. Vaneue is obviously as good as you're going to get in terms of a co-captain, and we are going to see a interesting strategy and an interesting change up here from CMU, I think. Obviously, as we get into game number 2 here, we are going to see, I do not believe we're going to see a huge amount of change out of CMU. They have, in the past, they have not changed a whole bunch between games, but do you think we're going to see that differently? Do you think it's finally going to change, break the camel's back here in the second game?
From what I've seen, it looks like their NEU's tank, Frisco, seems to have a couple different characters under his belt that he likes to play. I saw the Ball, the Hazard, and the Roadhog. So I'm wondering what exactly he chooses here. And Vaneue himself was also choosing different characters as well, with the Moga and the Hog and the Reinhardt for a little bit. Which Reinhardt is pretty good on Kings, both attack and defense. Just the big shield is just such good protection for the choke points. So I'm interested to see what he chooses.
We do see it. I was suspicious. They were going to bring out the Widowmaker here. Widowmaker is great on this first point because there is a point between the legs of the first statue. As we saw a couple weeks ago last season, they just absolutely abused that. I was just seeing Lucio here get up close.
It looks like Zarya Gaming is going to be their tank now, playing Zarya. Okay.
That is a little bit of a change.
Apparently you are allowed to do that then.
You are. I think it's between games. I'm not sure you're allowed to do it between rounds.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah. Okay.
CMU runs with a interesting strategy. SgtSkittlez switching to, once again, another flanker. Instead, he's going to switch to Reaper. We're going to see AbusiveChick switch to Echo. Roadhog continues to be played by Vaneue. We see Raspberry once again sticking with his Lucio, and the Turtles obviously on Moira. I think there's anything different we can point out here as we see the first engage of the match get out here.
I'm a bit worried about the Hog going into Zarya here, as Zarya is very good natural counter for Roadhog here.
Immediately 2 kills happen. Hedwig gets Chick right away.
Looks like Raspberry's trying his best to help out this Reaper.
Indeed, as you mentioned, Zarya, very good counter there for Roadhog. It's sort of its natural predator with just how the kids interact.
As
course, with the more you shoot Zarya bubbles, the more powerful she becomes. Roadhog typically likes to just put somebody and shoot them right away. Zarya is able to just bubble them. And then the enemy Zarya is becoming more powerful, and you're in a world of hurt.
Sort of just turns into a death ray, as you mentioned. It sort of just turns into a death ray if you keep shooting it. As we see the Roadhog here going to back up, take his heals. The close range here, he may have an advantage, unfortunately not, as he pops that shield. That shield is not so many damage mitigation, it is full invincibility for that 2 seconds when it's active.
Yeah, exactly. And it also cleanses any plus Zarya has, which is balanced. Oh, and a reroll.
Ult there on
Oh my
Hedwig.
goodness.
He gets 2 members, and Zarya takes out Moira, who was pocketing Vaneue. As we see them both sit in point, they're going to sit here participating.
Vaneue wants to go with the Zarya. It's Ditto, okay. He gets sniped out of the spawn door, but not enough. He's playing the tank.
Good indeed. As you see Zarya once again going to pop that bubble, give her invisibility.
I think Skills and Vaneue are kind of smart to play Zarya Reaper here. I think they're a good combo. Well, not as Skills could sniped out, but. And then grab. Frisco.
Frisco with a double there, double headshots on the Echo. Such a fast-moving character. Usually you want to hit skin to take care of that.
Oh man.
As Frisco gets another one on SgtSkittlez.
Skittles tried to contest with the widow of his own, and he got shot immediately.
Sniper duel, and unfortunately he lost.
Yeah. I do. Oh, I better watch out. Raspberry's playing that dangerous game, peeking like that.
Gets a hit there on the opposing Widowmaker. He does mark him very close there.
Yeah.
Sort of get him out.
And Lucio ult from NEU. Oh man, that Frisco gets another shot on his move there. The spawn doors. It looks like Chick's trying his best to just survive here, but gets run down.
Unfortunately, as we see the Zyra here, sort of just sitting. It's her right click is like a mortar shot where it does take up a lot of space. Great sort of as area denial. You don't want to go into
You
that.
see that Reaper hiding at the spawn door?
Yeah, see Reaper sitting there waiting to push his
Teleports away.
Takes off. You see Moira sort of take. Gotta get a finish there. So
Okay,
just
Skills got
very
the kill
much
there. Okay.
Sniper's been so difficult for them to get past the door. As you see, maybe a chance on the Reaper here from Frisco.
Yeah.
At first, Skittles maybe.
Chick has about on duplicate, so I'm not gonna comment.
So we're gonna see here as a last push from CMU, they have 44 seconds to get on point and capture.
Oh,
If they can get on point, it will continue the match and they will get more time.
yeah. Looks like Hedwig is looking for people in the back. Vaneue's hacked and Reaper ulted.
That was many call. That was very much overkill as the hack combined. As you see the Sombra come out from NEU. Great at being able to push that back line with their hacking abilities.
It's the hack from the sky here.
You see the hack. We're going to see if you can switch into
The Reaper here maybe can
trying
build
to get
ult.
a ult.
Teleporting
Dives in
it.
the back. And get it. He is going to get it.
Use it.
Get it out.
Gets
He gets it out. Unfortunately, dies before the full thing can come out. How Echo's ult works.
Skittles can maybe take out the Zarya here.
Just barely unable. As Zarya drops a triple on both the DBSs and the support as round 1 is complete for NEU. CMU unable to get to the objective. That is a very hard first choke point for them to push through.
Yeah.
But we're going to see here if CMU can hold them strong in this round 2.
Yeah. I think Vaneue would have probably benefited from picking a bit of a Reinhardt there. Reinhardt's a very good counter to Zarya. Maybe it was just he's able to, and they all, if CMU was able to just kind of move through that point together against the Zarya bubbles, against the beam, no one was charging the bubbles, I think they would have been a-okay there. So I'm hoping that they try to do Reinhardt defense.
Indeed, Reinhardt, as you can see right in the camera right there, it's very difficult for a lot of, there's a lot of control points for
I
the
know
right
that guy.
field. We are a very tight-knit community here at CMU in terms of Overwatch. We all know each other. As we're seeing here, NEU's gonna have to sit there as CMU's gonna approach the gate. CMU with an interesting strategy once again. We see the Soldier Arm come back out for Skittles. You see Chick stick with Echo. Vaneue once again with a Hazard, which is a method. I'm not to say I'm terribly surprised because of how common Hazard's been, but it is a sort of champion. We see once again the sports say the same with the Lucio and the Moira.
And if I'm correct, I think Northeastern only needs to get
They just need to capture
point
the
here?
objective.
Yeah.
So NEU just has to get into that little barrier we can see just
Oh,
for
only
1
the
minute
first
right in front of
third.
there.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. Bit of an issue.
NEU is running, once again, a hazard ditto in terms of tank. We see Vantage, who can dig underground and sort of cause chaos there. Frisco, once again, running the Widowmaker, and then we see a Life Cleaver and Aria combo, which is an interesting tactic as we see hazard sort of getting there. Boards are doing their best, pocketing.
Although CMU definitely needs to stay on that point. Take out the Venture, maybe super low, but doesn't look like they can finish out the kill. Well, Hedwig does go down, Chick goes down in the process. It's like, okay, nice shot by Skittles. A headshot on the Frisco. Not down just yet. You can get a kill on the Zarya here, awesome. Zarya game.
Yeah, not quite.
Why you naming yourself that? Making it harder for me.
As we see, CMU's going to try to hold this very first gate, and there's not a lot of good ways around it. The Life Weaver will do its best. He will. Seeing both the supports
Frisco
go
gets
down,
sent
that's
both
really good
supports.
play.
Wow, that might be it. That's a very bad sentence there. Wow.
Indeed, the supports tied of a very lifeblood of a team fight. If you lose them, all damage you receive is sort of permanent in team fight, at least in the aspect there.
Yeah.
As they take the point, with obviously both the supports going down, it's very hard to stay in there. As we see NEU take round 2 in this series.
And there's a Widow play.
We see the Widowmaker play. I believe it's probably the triple he got. As we see here, the lineup gets a first shot on Raspberry. Next shot on Chick, and are we going to see another one maybe? Right here on the Widow itself.
Wow.
A very nice shot with the grapple up into the shot. Overall, a solid matchup. They're improving a little bit out of CMU.
Yeah.
They're starting to get a little more comfortable as a new tank. Obviously, tanks are very important in terms of coordination. Arguably one of the more important roles in just being able to talk to your players and sort of figure it out. Is there anything you saw that improved from the first round to the second round?
I would say maybe like
Overall, I think the coordination improved a little bit.
The coordination, I agree. I think the idea they had going in with the comp was was all right.
The ideas were certainly there. They certainly have a little bit of research there going on NEU.
Yeah.
Obviously, they do a little bit of scouting on the teams. As we get into Flashpoint on your personal favorite map for this kind of thing. As we see Flashpoint, last week they played on this map. I think every single time we've had a Flashpoint, it has been on this map.
I think people really just don't like New Junk City, which is kind of funny.
New Junk City, hopefully eventually we can see it on stream, but for right now, we're okay.
I think Servas is okay.
Servas is...
It's pretty. It's a pretty map.
Very pretty map. As we see NEU go with a completely different team comp as before.
Is that a Torbjorn? Wait, now QG Hub's playing tank. Sorry, your game's on support. Oh, wow.
They are fully switching up that team comp as we see Zyra Games, who was playing Zyra, now is playing Baptiste, who is a support. We see Ilaria once again support. We see Torbjorn and Symmetra playing in that first one. As you see, CMU's going to push here. They're in the same team comp as before, as in Souljourn, Echo, Hazard, Lucio, and Moira.
Decent attempts to stop the ball there. Although, and Skittles is just poking. How did that poke there? Oh, the Symmetra teleporter, of course. I was like, what the? How did he do that? Oh, Raspberry gets taken down by QG Hop with a slam. Ball is definitely a good character for NEU here, for just general distribution of the scene, because he's able to roll around, grapple, turn into a super fast fireball that does damage, and he's able to just go up and then slam down and just knock everybody at CMU up into the air, which allows for a lot of damage.
Out of Wrecking Ball.
Turret's placement behind the wall.
Turret is currently in an interesting position directly behind the wall. Literally just has a inconvenience as we see the Torbjorn.
It looks like Torbjorn might make it out alive.
Torbjorn receives a full pocket out of the support there as the Baptiste pops his ability with the longest cooldown that people want to place it again.
Oh, and Skittle still goes down in the midst of it. It looks like another slam from the ball. And a minefield deployed.
We'll most likely get one here.
Oh man, it might get Vaneue, but not quite. Frisco is able to take out Vaneue there. Oh, and that Turtles dies at the one step out on the doormat of the spawn room.
Frisco gets 3. He is receiving a full pocket. We are seeing here as Metra once again.
Torbjorn is waiting outside that spawn room once again. Oh, and he gets taken out by Raspberry.
He gets taken out finally by Raspberry there. The Lucio. As we're seeing him get a receiver really quick and get moving here.
Still no ults for CMU, but 4, I'm sorry, on Northeastern side.
All of them that do a little bit of interesting things. Torbjorn's especially interesting as he can lay out like a welcoming mat here. Because they can sort of just take up a huge area to
He's
deny.
hiding. He's hiding over there.
He is. He's
I
hiding.
think that's Alari actually. He's hiding over there.
Torbjorn is going to take a full frontal assault directly on CMU without really his tank. All obviously not.
Oh, and an Alari ult from the back here. It's
Does get a hit.
Skittles and close up. Yep.
Gonna get a kill there. On
And
Skittles.
Symmetra wall going up. And Symmetra wall. And
There once again by Frisco. Once again a kill by the Torbjorn. Proving his worth here.
on Flashpoint is so bold, and I can't even say it's going poorly for him. He's having a great time.
As you see NEU here is going to push onto the second one. The U kept missing at Flashpoint. You see that welcoming mat here from the Torbjorn. As he sort of just throws it down. As you see the ult here, once again from Hazard, it's going to stick them all down.
Oh,
It's going to get one.
a good ult there.
Very good ult
Sorry,
there.
gaming out there.
NEU with a very good kill there. Looks like Skittles going to get that Torbjorn.
It looks like Raspberry's going to get shot down by Hedwig, though. Oh, Turtles loses all momentum with that fade, and the Hedwig is just taking heads here. Yeehaw. Running around. There's
Being taken down as we see 4.
Let's go. Swaps off the Torbjorn on a Tracer. Nice swap there.
Indeed, we're going to see a Roadhog come out of here out of Vaneue. Once again, I think he might be the most comfortable with here.
Yeah. And Bastion.
Bastion out of Chick.
Alright.
Leaning in truly to the hit scan with heroes that sort of just play like Call of Duty characters. As we're seeing a big
nice
hit there
shot,
by
nice
Skittles,
shot
getting
there
it
for
right
Skittles.
one of the supports. As it's sort of George
And
Iyer and
most likely a minefield here. Watch the.
most likely here it's going to dive right in the middle, and then the minefield huge area denial, but can be used as an immediate weapon.
Yeah.
And not using it though. He's going
Okay,
to that
well,
round.
alright. Maybe. Well, I don't play ball. Maybe I'm not in the mental for that.
I think he's saving it because it is so immediately valuable in that last flashpoint because it is in a tree. It started to get a good kill there on the ball as we see Symmetra go down. You're going to see it's truly do or die time now for CMU as we approach the last flashpoint. Inside the building, it is so good. This is a perfect opportunity for ball to put it down. Obviously, CMU is going to try to avoid.
Oh, Raspberry gets taken out immediately by the flashpoint activates. And there's that minefield.
Right there.
Right in,
Exactly the money point for
right
it.
on the fuse.
Skittles is going to get out.
Oh, and Hedwig gets his head taken off by Skittles there. Or, other way around, I'm sorry.
Indeed, as we see Hedwig once again get another pick. Alaria is so good for this exact reason.
He's hitting him, yeah.
She's very good. She's a very offensive support.
Yeah.
Because her damage is just as, almost just as good as her.
That's very,
support.
not again, but this
Oh, in
And
there
there's
comes
an
Sunstrike.
Alaria.
We're going to see a 3.
maybe a couple of people blowing up for that.
Hedwig once again getting another one.
Nice Weaver. And Turtles is just stuck
Turtles
here.
is-
Stuck
yeah.
here without a team. And Raspberry attempting to backcap, it looks like. Will he get it?
He's going for it.
He's not attempting to backcap. He's... Oh no.
As we see the ball dive into 3, he's going to get killed there by, as we see.
Oh, he is
Right,
trying to
that
back
Lucio,
down. Oh.
He gets on point. Is he going to be able to take it here?
Yes.
He does
Yes,
get
he
it
is.
here.
Yes, he is.
Very strategic move there by CMU to go for the back cap. Lucio, one of the best champions at doing it just with his absolute speed. As
Yeah.
we see ALB for not those, they're going to take it immediately back. As we see the ult from here out of Sojourn. Be a lot of absorbed by
Okay,
the
so
ball.
Skittles gets back on the point though with overclock. It
Get on
doesn't.
point.
Cybernetics regulating.
Okay. Let's see this.
Very
Oh,
good
Skittles,
by
nice.
Oh, we're going to see Oh, jump
Okay.
in. Once
Look
again,
at that.
beautiful
Okay.
double. Chick gets one on the Genji.
Back on their feet.
Very good. CMU trying to get one back. They are currently halfway to the first round.
Wow, this is an interesting one, isn't it?
Really an interesting round. The back tap, not a tactic we usually see.
Yeah.
Completely the wrong way.
It looks like Zarya Gaming taken out by Vaneue here.
Inside
Right
the
away.
goal.
Although it looks like I hear a minefield deployed onto that point, and Briscoe gets one person at least.
It's almost even trade here. Unfortunately, no longer even as the Genji takes out Chick.
Yeah.
On point, and now you see that minefield down. That is a very good
Oh
point
no,
there.
sliding into the mine Skittles. No.
Sliding directly into the minefield.
Oh, maybe Raspberry can touch.
Raspberry may be able to get on point here. Forces another overtime. Very
Thankfully the
good.
mines aren't there, but the entire enemy team is.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of different weapons pointed at that right there.
But he's getting so hard
absolutely pushed. Absolutely pushed into the wall there to end round 3 and to end the match between NEU and CMU.
In the headway, go Jack.
We're gonna see Hedwig obviously did very well in this game. Pushed it.
Oh yeah.
Most likely was yes, the Sunstrike.
Wow,
It's the
3
immediate
people with
takeout.
that, yeah. Shot there, and wow.
So it's 3 there.
Alright.
Indeed, that is another game that is a little bit unfortunate for CMU, but they do move on. Obviously, a lot of missing players here, maybe to contribute a little bit to it. Though we do not like to make excuses here a ton, but you know, 2 players, it's a tough gig to really break through here,
Yeah,
especially
true.
at a level as high as this.
That's true.
Overall, another unfortunate loss. 0-3 to NEU is a. Is there anything you want to say as somebody who's been through this and who has played? Who has,
Well, I was thankful not to see not just Hazard for one of our matches. I like seeing the more variety we had with our tank picks, and I saw NEU was going through the whole roster. It looked like when it came to their hero picks, which is it was admittedly pretty funny to see Torbjorn on Flashpoint. But yeah, I think it's neat to have another person sub in for tank is always kind of interesting because the tank is really what you want to kind of follow as a team, and just seeing a different kind of leader on the field was leading to some interesting situations, I think, with us.
It certainly was, and we are actually going to speak to him in a minute when Vaneue is going to come on for an interview.
Yeah.
We are going to see him in just a minute, but is there anything you want to say before you sort of take your 2 cents?
I imagine we'll have more people back on Tuesday for our next game, but then I'm hoping to see some stuff, some good stuff.
That's very true, and they are constantly improving. Stay with us for just 1 minute as we get Vaneue on here and get him for a good interview here. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Student Activity Center here at Central Michigan University. I am here with Vaneue, your substitute tank. Obviously, an unfortunate loss. What are some of the issues? What are some of the difficulties you have stepping in as a new tank? Obviously, you did play support. Well, you have played support in the past. What are some difficulties stepping into that new role on the team?
Yeah, you know, our main tank unfortunately couldn't be there today, so I had to step in. I have played a bit of Hazard, but it's only really in competitive, so it's not really ready for this kind of stage, you know. It also doesn't help that a couple people from my main roster were also gone.
And as you mentioned, you guys were also missing Zack, who is a very important DPS. Obviously, you had some new blood in here today. Obviously, they did very well for you, but what do you think overall? How do you think that affected your guys' overall team chemistry?
You know, we haven't really been like scrimming as much with our sub players. We kind of focus more on our main roster. So this was kind of some of our sub players' first time ever really playing in a full match and being able to like get used to playing against a team and learning their like different combos and everything.
Very well. Is there anything else that take me through when you're looking at a game, when you're looking at having a new team? Because obviously, I'm assuming he let you know at least the day before. When you're looking forward at, I'm gonna have to play tank tomorrow. What's like the pre-thoughts that come into your head about what's the thing that are churning in your head as a semi-pro player?
Man, I wish Freed were here. That's all I was thinking the whole time. Hazard's a fun character, but man, he just does it differently.
He just certainly does it differently, and we will see him back next week here on Tuesday, where we are anticipating a very good matchup here at the Student Activity Center. Well, I have been GGSnowman, your commentary caster. We're here with Vaneue, who is a awesome sub as a tank, and obviously we will see him next week returning as support. Thank you all for staying with us, and we will see you on Tuesday.